Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing okay, and I hope you all had a lovely weekend. And welcome back to Music Lessons Live with me, Ollie, here on the New Wave Arts Facebook page. As always, these videos will be going up onto our YouTube channel afterwards. And for those students and teachers who've asked, it will be going up onto your online resource pages as well. So we are going to be doing a new song this week, of course, and we're also going to be going back to the guitar as well. Please don't worry if you're playing with a different instrument at home, as I'll always try and show all the chords and notes that we've got to play, and it will just be your job to kind of translate that for your instrument that you are playing at home, whether that be the ukulele or a different kind of instrument as well. So the song we're going to be learning and doing today is Half the World Away by Oasis. If you've never heard this song, it's kind of an acoustic song done by I believe Noel Gallagher on the acoustic guitar. But you can easily play this on the ukulele, the piano as well if you're playing along one of those instruments at home. So the way we structure out these lessons is we're going to start off first of all by listening to me play the song on the instrument. Then what I'll do is I will put up the music so you can follow along to it at home. If you haven't already, make sure you've got a pencil, a rubber and a piece of paper, just in case you can't get the music up for whatever reason. It's really good to have those on standby, just in case you want to make some quick notes. Again, best to use a pencil and a rubber, because if you use a pen, if you make any mistakes, you're going to have to cross that out with the pen. You're going to lose a lot of space on your paper, and eventually you'll end up throwing the paper away, which is what we don't want. Okay, so the first section we're going to learn today is going to be the first verse and the intro. Then on Wednesday, we'll look at kind of the next part. And then on Friday, we'll look at the very final part and have our play along at the end. So, it sounds something like this. Okay, so that is what we're going to be learning today. So lots of chords in there. As I just mentioned, I'm going to put the tab so you can follow along to it at home in the comments. There we go. So first of all, we're going to look at the chords. Then we're going to look at the rhythm, the strumming pattern, and then we're going to have a little go at playing along at the end. So, chords for today on the guitar. So as I always mentioned, make sure you're playing in that good position, that good technique with the guitar. So having this part here kind of sat on your leg or in between your leg. The neck of the guitar kind of facing at a 45-degree angle as well, so you can get that good hand posture and position. Making sure that your thumb is in the centre of the neck. Okay, playing on the tips of your fingers, that crab claw technique. If you're like me, you've got metal strings on your guitar, remember to use a little plectrum. They sometimes look like this. I've used mine so much that it's kind of filed away. But if you've got one like this at home, okay, using one of these if you're using metal strings. In one of my previous videos, I go over how to use this and play it correctly. If not though, you can always just use your thumb, but just make sure that you're strumming quite gently, because as you'll find out, metal strings are a lot stronger than your thumb. Okay, and we don't want to get any blisters on our fingers. Okay, if you are using your thumb, it's the thumbs up technique, and you're just strumming down like that, and then you're strumming back up with your thumb there. Okay, using a plectrum, like so. Right, so chords for today. We've got C major. Okay, if you haven't checked out some of our previous videos as well, make sure you do go over the different strings. So E, A, D, G, B, E. Eddie, A, dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. That's a little rhyme that you can use to help you remember that at home. And then we've got the frets. Fret 1, 2, 3, 4. So the frets are these little spaces here in between the metal fret lines, as we call them. Right, C major. So what we do is we take our third finger or our ring finger on our left hand if we're playing right-handed. Be right hand if you're playing left-handed. We put it on the third fret of the A string here. We take our second finger, our middle finger, we place it on the second fret of the D string here. Then we take our third finger, we place it on the third fret of the B string here to get C major. Okay. The next chord is F major 7. Now there are lots of ways to play F major 7. The one I'm going to show you today is kind of more of a simpler version. And I believe it's actually the version he uses when he plays the song as well. This version, okay, it's quite good as well because it works really well with our C major chord. All we've got to do is we've got to take our first finger, place it on the first fret of the B string here. Take our second finger, place it on the second fret of the G string here, and then we take our third finger, we place it on the third fret of the D string here. And all we're doing is we're playing those four strings there. So again, when you're playing, you've got to be really aware of what strings you are kind of striking, hitting, and playing as well. So again, C major, not playing that low E string. We don't want to hear any of that. We just want C and then to F major. Again, not playing the low E or the A. So just striking those four strings there. So we've got C, this is F major 7, back to C, F major 7 again. Okay, so we repeat that twice. Then we go into the verse. So verse, we've got C major. Then we go to F major 7. Again, C major, F major 7. Then we go C to C B. Okay, so a C/B chord is basically what we're doing there is we are taking our third finger, so we're making that C chord shape again. So first finger on the first fret of B, second finger on the second fret of D. But this time, instead of putting our third finger on the third fret of C, we're going to take it down one to B here. Now you're probably hearing that and thinking, that doesn't sound quite right. However, it's what we call a little transition chord. So we're not playing it forever, we're not playing it for too long. It's just a very quick one before we move on to the next chord. So again, we've got C to C, and then we move on to A minor afterwards. So that's C-B chord. Again, quick tip, playing C and then just move your third finger down to that second fret there, that B. Okay, so we've got C major to F major 7. Again, quick tip, keep that first finger on that first fret on the B string. Don't have to move it at all. And then we go to A minor. So A minor, take our second finger, place it on the second fret of the D string here. Take our third finger, place it on the third fret of the G string here. Take our first finger, we place it on the first fret of the B string there. And then we're playing all the strings, so from A, we're not playing that low E string, so we're just playing those. Then we go to D7. So D7 is we take our first finger, we place it on the first fret of the B string here. Take our second finger, place it on the second fret of the G string here. Take our third finger, place it on the third fret of the E string here. So we're making that little triangular shape with our fingers. If you're playing a ukulele at home, it looks a lot, or if you have played a ukulele at home, it looks a lot like a G7 chord. It isn't G7, so don't play that. It is 100% D7, but it's got that G7 shape. If you ever played that if you ever played a ukulele at home before, okay. So that is D7. Okay. So let's quickly recap some of these chords. So we've got C, we've got F major 7, we've got C again, F major 7, C, C B. Okay. So that B, that slash B, means that we're playing a B note in the bass, and that's what we're doing when we're moving that finger down. And to A minor, D7. Now it says F major there, but you can play F major 7 if you like, it would still work. F major, the only thing we're doing is we're making that F major 7 chord shape again, but this time we're barring, we're doing a technique called barring with our first finger, and we're barring on the B and E strings on the first fret. So what you're using is you're using this part of your finger up to your first joints to press down on those notes there to get that kind of sound. You can equally play F major 7 as well. Then we've got C, F major 7, and then C, C, B, A minor, sorry, D7, F major 7, and then we repeat it again. C, F major 7, C, F major 7, C to C, B to A minor to D7, F major 7 again. Okay? So that is the intro and verse 1. Right, the strumming pattern, okay, goes something like this. So we're counting in 4/4. So we're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it has got a slightly swung rhythm as well. And then we are striking the strings down at particular times. Okay, so when we're going through it, what we've got to do is this. So we are first. So again, I'm going to be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's the first part of our strumming pattern, is our time signature. It's one of the most important parts of any music. It's how we're going to count our music. It's how it's going to be like played out as well, and what we're kind of all kind of in sync to. The next part is when we strike our strings. And again, in some of my previous videos, I've gone over really good technique as to how you can do this. So go and check out some of those after you watch this. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to be striking down on beat 1. We're going to strike down on beat 2, and then up on beat 2 and. So you're going 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. So 1 and 2 and then you strike down on beat 3. Strike up on beat 3 and. Down on beat 4, and then up on beat 4 and. So it should sound something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'll quickly go over that again. So you're striking down on beats 1, 2, 3 and 4. You're striking on beat, you're striking up on beats 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just like so. Again, give yourself time to practice that and make sure as well that you're always keeping that hand moving when you're playing. Okay, the instant you're thinking about it too much, it's going to sound really robotic and really not what we're looking for. So again, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. That's what we're looking for, that kind of movement. Right. Let's see if we can put those two things into practice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a little play through. We're going to have a little play through now of the intro and verse 1. Okay, so I'll quickly go over those parts again. So for the intro, it's C to F major 7, C to F major 7. We do that twice. Then for the verse, we've got C to F major 7, C to F major 7 for that first line. And then we go C, CB to A minor, D7 to F major, or if you want to, you can play F major 7 there. Okay, entirely up to you. Then we go C to F major 7, C to F major 7, C to CB, A minor, D7, F major 7. And that's what we're going to have a little go at playing along to now. So, we're going to take it nice and slowly, absolutely not rushing at all. We all want to make sure we can play this at home. If you need to though, pause me, have a little bit more time to practice, and then when you're feeling confident, when you're feeling ready, come back and then we can have a little play along. Right, let's give it a go. Okay, nice and confident. C major chord ready. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. To C, F major 7. Verse, here we go. C to CB, A minor, 2, 3, D7, F major 7, back to C again. Here we go, C, 2, 3, A minor, 2, brilliant, really well done if you're able to play along at home then. I quickly forgot to mention as well, each chord is 4 beats long, apart from that C to CB, those are 2 beats long there. So when you're counting those are going to be 2 beats long. Brilliant. So I hope you were able to play along at home then. Again, if you're really struggling and you're not sure, just change the strumming pattern for now until you've had that opportunity to have a bit more practice. So maybe just play on beats 1 and 3 when you're playing along at home. Right, so for Wednesday, we're going to have a little look at the chorus and then kind of like the next part. Again, if you've enjoyed this session, please remember to like, comment, subscribe and share, as it will be going up onto our YouTube channel as well. And for those schools who have asked, it will be going up onto their online resource pages also. Again, if you've got a song that you'd like to have a little go at doing each week, or a particular instrument you'd like to play as well, please let me know. I will try my best to have a little go at everything. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this song. I hope you're going to enjoy it as well for this week, and I will catch you all on Wednesday at 10 AM for part 2.